are PAILs and rails? PAILs and rails are contractions in the position of a stretch. We use these contractions to develop strength at our end range and also gain access to new ranges of motion. Let's cover the sequence with a very simple stretch that most of you are probably familiar with, a seated hamstring stretch. So PAILs is a contraction of the stretched tissue or the lengthened tissue, and a rails is a contraction of the shortened tissue, which would be on the opposite side of the joint. So in the case of this hamstring stretch, the lengthened tissue is the stuff on the back side of my leg, and the shortened tissue is the stuff on the front side of my leg. To start a PAILs and rails set, you find a passive stretch and hold it for 1 to 2 minutes. Then begin a PAILs. In this case, I'm going to push my leg down into the floor to contract the tissues in the back of my leg. I'm going to build that contraction up to a safe but very strong effort, pretty much as hard as I can without hurting myself. Then hold it for 10 to 20 seconds. Once the PAILs is done, immediately switch to rails. So in this case, I'm going to try to lift my leg from the floor to contract these tissues. Again, a safe but strong contraction. Hold for the same amount of time you held your PAILs. When you finish the rails contraction, stay in position but relax. Once you've relaxed, you'll probably have access to more range of motion. You might be able to move into a deeper stretch. This isn't the case every time, but if it's what you find, go ahead and take that new range of motion. You worked pretty hard to earn it. So one cycle of PAILs and rails is 1 repetition. Depending on where you're at in your mobility program, you'll have anywhere between 2 and 5 repetitions for a given PAILs rails set. The entire PAILs and rails set should last from the start of the passive stretch to the final repetition anywhere between 3 and 10 or more minutes. Try your best during PAILs and rails to not back out and take a rest and take a break from the stretch. The important part of this stimulus is maintaining a stretch for a long duration of time, and it is that duration that will help us gain access to more ranges of motion over time.